I'll go home as a beggar and never be your wife.
Hi, I'm Mary.
And I'm Katie, and this is The Housewife Did It.
Pop Culture Edition. First and foremost, apologies for missing 2 weeks of YouTube videos. I hope we don't do it again.
Yeah.
I pulled up the video and I was missing. It was just
gone.
a circle with the letter M in it. And I said, "You saw me, right?"
Mm-hmm.
No idea what happened there.
Crazy.
Hopefully it's fixed now.
Yeah.
If you like our show, you can like, subscribe, share, review, comment, engage. On Instagram now you can do reposts,
Mm-hmm.
quick and easy. Get in on my Threads fame as well. Yeah. If you would like something in return, we have 2 promo codes for you. You can use the code Mary788 for money off of your Every Jewels order, EVRY Jewels. They have lots of jewelry. They also have pajamas, slippers, socks, bags. They have little tote bags that are really cute. Not sure if they have one that says Hot Girls Read, but we'll see. They have like little makeup bags and like toiletry things. Very cute. And
they
then
better watch it.
If you are someone who likes to lick the spoon while baking or eat raw cookie dough but want to do it safely, you can use the code HDI20 at Deutsch Foods, DOICH, for 20% off of your snacking cookie dough order. They have 4 flavors: chocolate chip, sugar cookie, birthday cake, and fudge brownie.
Exactly.
Enjoy.
Right. All right. We're not gonna be able to go as deep into Love Island as maybe we'd like to, because we have a lot of Summer House. So we have 2 tidbits, a Love Island section, and then we will spend the rest of the time talking about Amanda Batula. Okay, so seemingly Marciano like works for Jay-Z Styles at this point. At the very
He's
least,
like
he's getting them a lot of
it's like the
internet
brand.
Right, yeah.
Which is crazy because it's like a hair for women thing.
Yeah.
Why is he there?
Yeah. What would a man be doing there? He did a recent interview where he said him and Jessie are dating, but not exclusive. He wants her to do whatever she wants during this time, not to feel like she has to get into a relationship until she's ready, but that he is falling in love. So
Crazy.
Cool.
Crazy move.
Miss Taylor Swift did release a new song for the Toy Store for the Toy Story 5 movie. It's very cute. It's country. Yeah. Seems that it was written at the latest in early 2023. Because the photo shoot, people have figured out she's like missing a piercing on her ear that she got in August of 2023. People are crazy. Okay. I'm like, I didn't realize. I don't know how many piercings she has.
Yeah.
My bad.
I believe that it's like I've not watched Toy Story 5, obviously, because I'm not an adult. I thought it came out on Friday. When the song came out. Oh, okay. Well, anyway,
I think it's out in a week or so.
Oh, okay. But I believe the song is like used as like to show like Jessie's feelings about Bonnie. Which makes it like so cute to listen to, because it's like about like how much like you love someone and like that they're like growing. It's like very cute.
Yeah. I mean,
and that makes sense for country.
Yeah, and she said she like talked about like writing, like I wrote a song for Jessie. So like it's cute. Now I'm like, I guess I do need to see Toy Story 5.
Yeah, I guess.
Certainly my plans, but She wrote it with Jack Antonoff, who has been extremely silent about this. He has not posted anything about the song. I don't know if that just means
Why would a man be here?
he's like, I'm not proud of this song, or if he's like married and he's like, I'm an adult, or if there's beef, which of course is what everyone assumes.
Right. I also think it's interesting, when I went to look up the song, I didn't realize that Gracie Abrams had a song called I Knew It, I Know You.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
yeah, not beating the allegations, queen, of like, no one can use Taylor Swift stuff, but she can use theirs. But I mean, like, that's her friend. But also,
that's
if this was,
I'm like,
but if this was written in like 2022, that's before Gracie Abrams' song came out, so like maybe Gracie knew the whole time.
Very true. Like, as soon as her song came out, she was like, hey,
by the way,
I tell you something.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. So, Love Island USA is back. Once again, they have had to learn the lessons of what happens when you don't do a thorough background check on these contestants. Before the show even started, they had to remove a woman after videos surfaced of her saying the N-word. Surprise, surprise. This seems to have started an online trend of people saying, well, I can't be on Love Island because I was dressed as Pocahontas when I was 5, or other crazy things.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of people keep saying, like, well, she was like 11, and I was like, no, she wasn't, first of all. Was she?
No, I didn't think so.
I think she's like at least in like high school. But also, like, if you want to say that like people on reality TV shows shouldn't be held accountable for things that they did in high school, maybe they need to be more than 5 years removed from it.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
You should have known better.
That's what I was going to say. I don't really think I need to say this to our very smart audience here, but like, being unwillingly dressed as someone when you are barely above a toddler by your parents is like clearly not the same thing as saying the N-word on camera and posting it to the internet when you are an adult or a older teenager.
Yeah. And I've seen like
maybe we need to stop casting 22-year-olds if we're gonna be like, well, she was a kid. Well, she was a kid 5 fucking minutes ago.
Right. Like, I've seen similar discourse about Kinsey and like the pictures of her with like MAGA hats on.
Yeah.
And like her people are like, this was like taken a long time ago. She was like 18 in this picture. And I'm like, but she's like 22 now.
Yeah.
Also, it wasn't that long ago.
You could make the argument that like being public about like who you vote for isn't enough to get you kicked off of a show. And that's why she's still there.
Right.
Because like her wearing a MAGA hat we might find reprehensible.
Yeah.
But like it isn't
like it's not a hate politics crime. Island, and we're like, sure.
Yeah.
That's why she gets to stay.
But like if you're old enough,
be hate speech island.
If you're old enough to be selfie videoing yourself saying the N-word and putting it on the internet, then like you're old enough. And it's like, I would love to see how like the internet would react if one year like someone had something bad on the internet, but they had already publicly apologized for it and like already handled it. If the show would treat it different, if people would treat it different. But the problem is that these people clearly just hope that this doesn't get out, or that they get on the show first anyway. And then after it gets out, they're like, that's so not who I am. And it's like, sure, fine. But like, I don't know. I just feel like if I, at 22 years old, were going on TV, I would remember that at 17 or 16, I posted a video of me saying the N-word.
Right.
I would be conscious of that fact.
Right. I also think like you went to if you went to high school in like 2020, you know better. Like I went to high school in like 2015. I graduated high school in 2015, so I went to high school before then, and I did not say the N-word in high school.
Mhm.
I can tell you, I did
Mhm.
not say the N-word not one
Yeah.
time when I was in high
It's
school
also
because I knew better. And
Yeah.
it was like arguably in a time where people might say we didn't quite know better. And
Yeah.
like, but like in 2020,
Mhm.
you were 18 and didn't know.
I also like morally this makes no difference to me. However, like you could also argue that there's a difference in like if you got on the show and then kind of Love is Blind style someone was like I have this private video of her that I'm going to release to ruin her life from when she was 14 years old and she's under the influence and she accidentally sings the N-word and then she goes, "Oh no, but I release it." That's like a different thing. But what y'all are not understanding is every time someone has been removed from Love Island for saying something racist, they posted it
They posted it and they're saying it
voluntarily.
with their whole chest.
And either nothing's gone on the internet or it's literally in Sierra's case, it's literally still up. So like it's not me like it's not us like coming after people when like someone's like, oh man, they would deep dive and find me dressed as Pocahontas. No one's having to deep dive.
Yeah.
These are right there on these people's pages. So like, come on now. Like you think of like a Rachel Kirkconnell situation.
Yeah.
That took a while to come out. Probably did take some deep diving. Doesn't change how awful it was, but it's
Right.
like that wasn't something that was like front and center on her Instagram.
Right. But also I think that like with that situation, like when she talked about it, she was like, I genuinely like did not know.
Yeah.
Which like is not like she should have learned about things. But like these people are like saying slurs confidently. Like 10 toes down saying a slur.
Yeah.
It's different than like you like genuinely being like unaware of like how you're dressed as
Right.
on Halloween or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, I was just gonna say, like, obviously we have similar issues with other shows, like Love is Blind, we see this a lot, but the difference is that, like, because this is airing in real time and those are not, there's, like, nothing Love is Blind can do once people start exposing that stuff. That person's already on the show.
Yeah.
But I would have thought that with the last couple of years, Love Island might be sick of having to make mid-season changes and might have looked a little further into these people. Just look at their social media before casting them.
I did hear that like the video of Vasana was like from like a private Snapchat story, so like they wouldn't have been able to find it. Like it was like the like my close friend story or whatever.
Okay.
So
someone did have to share it to the internet.
Yeah.
But
so I think that like in that
sometimes
situation from what I've heard, like they wouldn't have been able to find it. But like still.
Yeah. Okay. If you have any, you can share in a second, but I'm gonna start with the doppelgangers I have off the top of my head. Kinsey is Erica Kirk. Yeah, crazy eyes.
Yeah.
The whole shebang. Sean looks just like Zach K. With the like blunt haircut right here. Zach is Charlie, or is Bruno from Encanto.
Yes.
And Bryce looks like Matthew Gray Goobler.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
I think that Kinsey looks like Anna Faris from House Bunny.
Sure.
And acts like her as well.
Yeah.
Sincere looks like someone, and I can't figure it out. But I'm thinking. I'm trying. Personally. I saw someone say Trinity looks like Randall from Monsters, Inc. And then I saw someone else say that Bryce looks like if you tried to draw Justin Bieber from memory. I had others. I should have written them down. But I forgot. I'll get back to you. I'll have to look at them again.
All right, it's time. We have some diabolical updates
Yes.
from Summer House Reunion, in the city episodes, and now just from the world. So we talked about this, but we get to see it play out in real time. West is told that someone must have hacked his phone, and now his nudes are circulating around Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
To which Carl and Jesse decided to inform him, oh no, they're here too.
Right.
We've
I
seen
was
them.
like, there's no fucking way this happened to be the same day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he's like, oh, it's just local. No biggie.
Crazy.
Amanda says, how come I didn't get any? And then proceeds to gleefully look over his shoulder at his flaccid nudes. He tells Jesse, yeah, that's me. No, we know. Thank you. When asked about the lying and turning off of locations, Amanda and West are just like, yeah, we lied. Of course we lied. Amanda says, of course I had my location off because I had recently had an awakening and I didn't want Kyle or Sierra to see where I was. To which Lindsay replies, well, no shit, you didn't want them to see where you were because you were at West's house.
Right.
It's like the exact opposite of like the way that Tom Sandoval like chooses to like lie in reunions. Their strategy here is to say exactly what they're being accused of is true, but to say it in a way that's like, of course it's true. You're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Of course I specifically wouldn't want Kyle and Sierra. She literally said, I didn't want you and Kyle to see where I was. And why is that? Why is that? When asked about making out with Sierra at the end of the season, West describes this moment as them doing ear stuff.
Yeah. I thought to myself, in what world did ear stuff seem like a meaningful addition to this conversation?
Yeah.
Like, he, barely said a word.
Mm-hmm.
He
said, I'm going to do better this time. I'm going to do better this time. I'm not going to be quiet like last time.
He worked overtime to fish for a compliment over like calling things off with Sierra. And like he was like, I did better. Like I told her I wasn't serious. Well, like that's the one time he chose to speak, was like to be like, I didn't take her seriously. Yeah. But he felt like ear stuff was something that needed to be included.
Yeah. Also, like, you made out tongue to tongue, lips to lips. So what do you mean all we did was ear stuff?
It was like ear stuff. I saw someone say that it's like from a show.
Oh, so he's just trying to be funny?
Yeah, they were like, he's like quoting a show. Okay, but
cool.
It's still not worth it to be the part of the 10 words you said.
Yeah. So we get to see KJ get vulnerable. He tells us about the very hard fall that he had with his mental health. Very hard autumn, not like he fell. Yeah. And that he was recently diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which makes it even wilder that West did not reach out to KJ at all during this. And West even admits, I just didn't really think of KJ because he hasn't been a part of all of this. He's not been on the show.
Yeah. I think also
so he said I didn't reach out to any of the newbies, even though like that's my friend who I brought on the show.
Right. I think like it was crazy that West seemed like confused that KJ was hurt by that. But also I loved when they were talking about the baseball game and KJ was like, that's not my friend.
Yeah.
That's not my friend.
Yeah.
I was like, get him.
Yeah. Since part 1 aired, Dara and KJ stopped following each other on social media, and it seemed to everyone that they had broken up. But they had been together the night before at Sierra's DSW event, Dara mentioned in part 2 that they had been together for 10 months, but not congruently, she says. So I
Yeah.
assume she means that they were a bit on and off, probably related to his mental health struggles, which he confirmed when he did an interview on Carl's podcast. And he said that Dara broke up with him during this time because she had to, so that he could focus on his recovery. He said, like, if I were at recovery treatment and, like, we were still together, like, I would have been focused on our relationship. So we still don't know if they're broken up at this time, but he did release a new song with her in the video called My Little Thing. A bunch of people were saying, like, oh, so now we know, like, the unfollowing and the deleting of photos was just, like, PR for the new song. Like, now we
Yeah.
know. But they
haven't
still don't
refollowed.
follow each
Yeah.
other, and the posts are still gone. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't feel like we know that. I think it's possible that they broke up and he needed to release this song.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't, and they
I
just,
saw
like,
that and I
don't
was like,
really
this doesn't
seem
seem
like,
as obvious to me as it seems to you.
and like, they don't seem like that type. Like,
Yeah.
they're, like, so about each other. I don't feel
Yeah.
like he would be like, let's pretend we broke up so that
Yeah.
we can get more likes on my song.
Yeah.
Speaking of songs, Sierra made it into Shabuzi's video for Cowgirl.
Oh,
Cute. So, on In the City, after part 1, we're watching Amanda begin to pack to move out of her and Kyle's apartment and into her own place for just a month or so. Seriously, though, when they showed that shower with all of her stuff, while she was picking out little black strappy heels that she would need over the next month, that was wild.
When I saw, like, her clothing and shoe collection, I was like, why the fuck are you wearing the same thing every day?
Yeah.
Though, like, why do you have a whole wall of shoes?
And she said
are
she
you
was still going to
always
come
dressed
by
the
the
same?
house. Yeah, she's like, I'm still going to come by the apartment. So why do you need you wear the black strappy heels so frequently that you need to take them? Because we see you in jorts
Yeah.
and Crocs
I'm also,
or
like,
whatever.
just in the City is, like, really confusing me with the breakup timeline from what she's saying on the reunion.
Why?
Because, like, in the reunion, they keep saying, like, we did not decide anything until, like, the day we put out the statement in January. Like, we were not separated, we were not broken up, we were not seeing other people. And then in the City, it's, like, September.
Right.
And they are living apart. And she keeps saying, like, in the City, it's just, I don't know, it's like, I guess also differing between the two of them. So, like, in the City, she keeps telling him, like, we're not broken up, this is not a legal separation. And then in the reunion, she's like this, like, that day we put out the statement is, like, the first time we even talked about and decided this, like,
yeah.
and all of a sudden I was, like, single. And it just feels like, I don't know. I've seen people saying, like, it feels like she's trying really hard to establish a timeline that doesn't overlap with a legal separation so that he can't win a settlement from her.
Yeah.
But, like, I just, like, I don't know. I'm just confused that, like, they're like, no, like, January 19th is, like, the first time we spoke about this.
Yeah, my understanding is that, like, she moves out September, October. It was supposed to be for 1 month, but then it just continues and continues and continues. And then we're going to talk about this, but then she says that basically January happened. She decided she didn't want to get back together. And then they got divorced. Or, like, decided to get divorced. So I feel like you're not confused about the timeline. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So, on to part 2 of the reunion. So we pick back up after Sierra called Amanda weak and said that maybe this would allow the relationship with Wes to actually work out. Sierra said what we were all saying, or at least what Mary and I were saying this season, that Amanda and Wes were just using buzzwords to try to make her feel better by saying how much they see her and how much they hear her.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we said that, like that's so weird that like they're
Yeah.
both saying the same thing and like kind of
I
using
also-
her words where she says, I just want to be seen.
Yeah.
And like it feels especially icky from like white people
Mhm.
to tell this Black woman who is saying like, I just want to be understood, I just want to be seen in a group of white friends, in a group of white coworkers,
Mhm.
with white men that I date, like I
Yeah.
just want to be seen. And these white people are like, we see you, we see
Yeah.
you.
I also feel
Clearly
like on
not.
the flip side, at the reunion, I feel like they were trying so hard to like make her get angry and like
Yeah.
look angry. And
When
I
West in the
loved-
dressing room was like, she's just trying to get a rise out of you.
that
And I was like, you are
pissed me
so
off.
misreading this.
Right. I first of all, I loved her not letting Amanda speak, but
Uh-huh.
also like the way she was doing it, like
Mm-hmm.
she's like a professional up there. This is her job.
Yeah.
And then but then like in the end of the last part when he was saying like, well, like she's getting under your skin, that's her goal. Like I was like, neither of you have ever cared about this woman. Like if you
Yeah.
and like if you genuinely think that, that shows how little you think of her as a person.
Yeah.
And that like what he said when he told her like that he like resented her for being the reason everyone hated him.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he said that she's trying to get under Amanda's skin.
Told the truth.
I know when he said that she's trying to get under Amanda's skin, I was like, oh, he did not let that go. Like
Yeah.
he has always felt that when they're besties again, like he's still like in the back of his head, like this is a person who like is going to take me down, and not
Yeah.
because he did something bad to her, but because he thinks that she is like poking at him and like trying to get a rise out of him, and that's crazy.
He's also the type of person that is thinking like, whether he will say this out loud or not, is thinking like, of course I'm the enemy because I'm a
Right.
man.
Right.
So like everyone's gonna side with this woman and I'm the bad guy because I'm
Right.
a man. But also I think that it's interesting that like he would say like her only goal is to get under your skin, when it's like I think moments that she has no intention of actually getting anything out of them, Amanda is letting her get under her skin. Like Sierra will say something to Kyle and Amanda's over there.
I know.
Or Lindsay says like, I've been here for 10 years, I'll do ads if I want, and Amanda has to say like, I've been here for 10 years also. And so it's like, yeah, maybe Sierra is not mad when she pisses Amanda off. I'm sure that's like a nice little side effect of this, but it's also like Amanda's getting bothered by the stupidest shit. You gotta sit here and take some stuff. And sure, having someone say like, you are weak, that one's gonna hit. Or like having Dara say like, you're gonna mold and fold and fit his life, it's the West show, that's gonna hit. But like, I was a good friend to you should not be causing Amanda to roll her eyes.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I take notes during these now. And some that like I took about like Amanda's responses to things.
Yeah.
I said I said absolutely diabolical eye roll at so she can say our names. And I said Amanda's only recourse truly is to dig a hole and bury herself in it. And then Sierra said, might as well get it all out before I dig a hole and cover them with dirt. And I said, oh, she agrees. And then after part 2, I said a team effort. Sierra put them in the ground and KJ buried them with dirt when he made the comment about his dad. I also noted like I thought it was crazy that West was like laughing along with the group on certain things, but Amanda, who's like fighting for her life up there alone, her face didn't change not one time unless she was rolling her eyes at Sierra.
I know. It was like, not that I should be shocked, but it did bum me out though. Like when they were all talking about Jesse's music and everyone was being so nice, Amanda just like nothing. Yeah. And I was like, I wish she would like break character for a second to like be nice, but like I guess not.
Yeah. And then I also put the comment that like Sierra made about her being weak. I said, first of all, I don't think that was harsh. And secondly, I think she was right, and I think Amanda deserved it. And I
Yeah.
think like that case in point,
Mm-hmm.
Amanda on In the City,
Mm-hmm.
on Summer House is talking about how hard she will ride for Sierra. She'll die for this girl. She loves her. It's her best friend. Like, goes to bat for her for whatever. And the second a tummy forward toddler comes knocking at her door and says, "There's something here," she folds. Like, that's weak, babe. Like, that
like
is
you are the one
saying
I had no choice,
right,
but to be with
not
him.
Stop.
Yeah,
right.
And
that's weak.
We all know that you could just not.
Right.
I also think like then she goes into the dressing room and said, and like clearly, so two things. I think a smart strategy would be so much of what they're saying is just them actually saying how bad of a guy West is.
Yeah.
And how he's gonna treat Amanda badly. And like she could use this moment to like come out of this hole.
Right.
And say like, oh, he had a girlfriend, like fuck that, like all this stuff. But then she goes into the dressing room with him and she's like, I just don't get it. They're just trying to make me feel stupid for trusting you. And like, but like for the most part, even when Sierra calls her weak, they're not necessarily insulting Amanda. They're just saying how bad of a person West is and that he does take advantage of women. So like, yeah, I mean, a lot of what they're talking about is just that like West has a pattern with women. West takes advantage of women. And like, yeah, they're kind of saying like Amanda, who knows him,
right,
should not be letting him even get away with as much as he is. But maybe it'll work out because she is.
Yeah.
But that's what's hitting her the hardest. And it's like that part does give like Raquel and Tom, where it's like you say to you like say to Raquel like he's a narcissist, and that's the part that hurts her.
Right.
Is that this might not all be worth it.
Yeah. I also like I keep seeing people say like things would go so differently for them if they would just come out there and be like, we're sorry, like we fucked up. And I was like, actually, and for me it wouldn't. The only thing that would be different for me is if they came out there and said, we fucked up, we realize this is wrong, we're no longer together. Like, you staying in a relationship and saying I know it was wrong doesn't mean shit to me. Because that means that you are, and like Sierra said, consciously choosing to do a wrong thing.
Well, and then
because
West,
you're weak.
Yeah, and then West being like, I like realize now that what was wrong was like the lying. Yeah, I learned that when I was like 4.
Yeah.
That lying was wrong.
It's also not the only thing that was wrong.
So like, but that's what they're willing to give, is that like it's not wrong for them to be together because they're both single, but like what was wrong is that they shouldn't have lied to people. But it's like, that's the lesson you got from this, is a lesson that we all learned as toddlers.
Right.
Cool. Great. Glad it took causing all of this chaos for everyone for you to figure that out.
Crazy.
Okay. So Amanda admits that the reason she didn't tell Sierra sooner is that she and West were having conversations about what was going on between them. And at the time, she felt embarrassed to tell Sierra that she had feelings for West, knowing that West was still seeing someone, Mija being at least seemingly the most serious of those. Certainly, I would imagine not the only one.
Right.
Mia said, well, yeah, that's embarrassing.
I love shit when people say shit like that. Like, I love to say shit like that.
Yeah.
I like yesterday, I say this a lot, but like yesterday I was talking to my best friend and I said like, I like just every day I'm so thankful I'm not a fucking idiot. And she's like cackling and I was like, but like I'm so dead ass. Like, thank God.
Yeah. But it's also the same thing. It's like, of course I turned off my location because I didn't want you to see it. Of course I didn't tell you I was with West because that would be embarrassing. So it's like, again, to your point, Mary, like the self-awareness of how bad the situation is was not enough for you
Right.
to make a choice to just not do this.
Right. And like I think that's crazy because she's sitting there like the second Andy started asking about if Kyle was faithful, like she lit up like a
Nope.
Christmas tree. She was like,
Nope.
no,
Yeah.
he wasn't. And like, but by your admittance, if he feels something strongly,
do
he's
anything.
just supposed to not try.
Yeah.
Like you can't help your feelings and how
Yeah.
they make you act. Like
Yeah.
pick a fucking lane.
And then she would of course say like, well, I'm single and he was married. Sure, but
And
like
then on In the City, she's like,
Mhm.
Danielle's a whore.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend is legally separated and not quite divorced yet.
Yeah. True. So apparently in the regular made for TV episode, Amanda says me and West had conversations that made me feel comfortable with what we were doing. But in the extended version on Peacock, she is asked by Lindsay and Mia to share what those conversations were. What was it that y'all talked about that made you so comfortable to fuck your friend's ex and do it while he had a girlfriend? And she says, I would like to keep some things between us private.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Somebody said they should be fined when they say that. Andy
Yeah.
should fine them.
True. Put it in the
I like on the
contract.
Southern Hospitality reunion, Emmy said, she was like, Will's not on the show anymore and I want to keep things between me and Will. And Andy turned around and said, anyway, TJ, what did you hear about Will cheating on Emmy?
So this is the moment that Amanda leaves the stage for possibly the longest break of a reunion that I've ever witnessed.
Truly.
Andy says that it was between 15 and 20 minutes. We had they excused and brought out a whole new guest in the time period, and she Dara got
and then
to
they had
say
to make
things.
her repeat herself.
West continues to be very bad at reunions. He does not know what to say, mostly says nothing, and then when told to go follow Amanda, he tries to argue and say, Andy, just continue to ask the questions. He also, when they went into the dressing room,
talk about me.
y'all are gonna be mad if I leave. But then when he was in the dressing room with Amanda, he says, should I be saying more for you? Do you want me to say more? And she said, no, they'll be mad if you do that.
Yeah.
And there's just something.
And then he tells her to start apologizing.
Yeah.
I'm like, crazy that you're giving tips right now.
That was crazy when he was like, you're getting too fired up. And I was like, bro, the internet, I know you don't know this yet because it's in the future, but the internet is reaming her for her no emotion. And you're telling her she's getting too heightened.
Like Kristen Stewart.
She's literally
Twilight.
There is just something in the world that requires guilty people to say things along the lines of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Or y'all are just going to be mad either way. You're just going to be mad at me no matter what I do.
They're already mad at you. Why do you care?
Maybe if they're already mad, let them be mad and just do the right thing just for the sake of doing the right thing. But instead, it's if I'm not going to get brownie points for doing the right thing, why would I do it? Y'all are going to be mad at me anyway. You're still not going to want to be my friend. So why would I even do that? On part 2, KJ gets vulnerable again. KJ, star.
I know.
Superstar. He, at this time, at the real detriment of his former friend, complimentary, he tells West, essentially, that West's behavior reminds him of his father, who was a womanizing player who continuously hurt KJ's mom all throughout his childhood.
And somebody said, that is something that should have made West cry. That is something that he should have been holy shit, but he doesn't care.
Well, they're also heavily medicated. So a little Showy, a little Xanax.
Even my husband, my autistic man husband said, "Oh, Amanda showered before this."
Yeah. Also, for sure, in that 20-minute break, she has a dab pen or something. Like, she's
Yeah.
just getting stoned while she's gone. And, like, whatever, girl. But, so when Dara joins us on stage, she has somewhat similar sentiments, talking about how Wes can be really likable and even respectful to people in his life, but not to the women who he's romantically connected with. I wish, I don't know if she feels like she has that experience, because I know they, like, did date.
I feel like that's what she was saying.
Yeah, I almost wish Andy would have asked further, or if she's just like, I've seen enough. But
I also feel like, because like when she came onto the show, she said like that they work better as friends, and I
Yeah.
think like that's kind of what we saw with him and Sierra this season that made everybody like, oh my gosh, yay! And it's like they were getting along so much better because for him, there was no like
Mhm.
strings. It was just their
Yeah.
friends. They were buddy buddy.
Yeah.
And I think that like that's kind of what Dara was talking about, was like he is not respectful as a romantic partner,
Yeah.
but like he's fun to be
Yeah.
friends with.
Yeah, he's nice to men. Cool.
Barely. White men.
Yeah. Yeah, true. We see throughout the reunion, but especially during some of these comments about how Wes treats women, that Kyle is struggling between feeling pissed off at both of them and being worried that Amanda is going to be hurt or is currently being made a fool of.
Yeah.
All true and valid. This, I will say, the reunion is the most I have felt for Kyle.
Yeah.
However, watching not that it matters, I obviously knew what it was, but like watching the unedited version of the fuck you scene
Yeah.
was really like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, ouch.
Yeah.
So
I do genuinely think it's insane though that they haven't slept together since they got married.
yeah, it just like doesn't shock me, and like
Yeah.
I'll
also
get
like okay.
I'll get to that part
Okay.
because I have thoughts about Kyle there too. But so absolutely wrecked me to hear everyone supporting Jesse, but talking about how mean people on the internet have been about his music. That's sad. But like, also I think the thing is like Jesse has like made himself this like comical character.
Yeah.
And so then to like come out with like serious music,
Yeah.
I do think like just kind of took people back.
Because the way we
like,
got introduced to Jesse being able to sing was like, what would Jesse Solomon do?
right.
And like, I think like he is like such a like a funny, jokey guy. When like we found out that like he could sing, we were kind of like, holy shit! Like,
yeah,
funny little hidden talent.
yeah. I think it does have a lot to do with personality, because it's like KJ doing music makes perfect sense, but like KJ's very serious. Like he's always been very serious from what we've only had one season, but it's like, so him seriously pursuing a career of music is like, oh, pop off. And Jesse, you're like, is he being serious? Is this a joke?
And then on the Southern Hospitality reunion, they put the nail in the coffin for him. Poor guy.
For Jesse?
Yeah, they said Joe Bradley was talking about like his business, and he said like Jesse Solomon's gonna come perform on his tour, and Andy said, was that a hard gig to book? And he said, no, Jesse reached out to me, he asked for it.
Oh yeah.
I said, poor Jesse.
But he's hustling.
Yeah.
Speaking of hustling, Amanda is offended that Lindsay and Carl did an ad monetizing on this situation, even though she just recently, after the whole situation, posted to the internet and said, hey, I need to continue to post like normal just so that she could post brand deals in the midst of this scandal. Also, this is the woman who's been breadcrumbing us on Instagram for over a fucking year.
Yeah. Also, she did do ads during Carl and Lindsay's breakup.
Yeah, the Goldfish Cheez-It feud.
Yeah, and she did an ad about her own breakup.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Amanda.
Yeah.
I loved listening to Lindsay talk to her because I was like, when the fuck did Lindsay become Italian? Like, I've never heard Lindsay, and like watching In the City, I'm hearing it again. Like, I've never heard Lindsay sound so much like a New Yorker. She's like, "You're so fucking good, West. You're so fucking good." I was like,
Yeah.
"Who is this?"
She's like, "You're a pathy. No
I was
one's
like,
gonna trust you."
and then she talks to Kenny the same way, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
seeing like the New York side of Lindsay.
Yeah. All right. Here we are, Mary. Amanda and Kyle admit that they have not had sex for the entirety of their marriage, which is 4 years. However, I found it incredibly icky that this was coming during the conversation about Kyle basically pulling a Tom Schwartz and cheating on his wife, but then being like, but it wasn't an affair and it wasn't sex. And also, my needs weren't being met.
Mm-hmm.
While we can all think that it's wild that these people decided to get and stay married while they clearly did not like each other at all,
Yeah.
he should have left her if his needs were not
Right.
being met. We're back to the
Yes.
Tom Sandoval situation. It feels like we fucked in a t-shirt type of vibes. Like, he wants to come for her for not doing the wifely thing
Yeah.
and fucking him, but he's out till 7 a.m. making out with other people, which surely doesn't make her want to fuck him, right?
Yeah. My thoughts are, and you're not gonna like them.
Okay.
I feel like it is so clear that Amanda doesn't like him.
Yeah.
It's been so clear Amanda doesn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I don't feel like it felt like a marriage at any point.
Mhm.
And like I think that because of that, and like to me it sounds like confirmed it wasn't really a marriage. If they're not sleeping together, they don't get along, they don't like hanging out together.
Yeah.
They have different schedules and timelines and don't like being in the same room at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that. And then like they kind of confirmed that the only reason they were still together is because they were on this show. Like to me it kind of feels like she would like probably in his mind that she wouldn't have cared if he was like
sure, but I
seeing
think
other
that
people.
yeah,
But
I think if Kyle wasn't as gross or was a little more emotionally mature, he would have said, "Oh, my wife
Yes.
doesn't like me. I should get a divorce."
Yes, that was my caveat. Like I understand what like he's trying to say, what he's trying to
Yeah.
get at, but also she's not the only person in this partnership
Yeah.
that can ask for it to end. Like
Yeah.
you can also say, I don't feel like you love me. I don't feel
Yeah.
like you like me.
Yeah.
I don't, and like I don't know, but then because then it's also like I get like that he's like maybe like hoping that it'll work out and like holding on to something, but like it's been 4 years, it's clearly not, and like
Mhm.
you clearly like not getting my needs met, gonna make out with someone else. Like if that's working for you,
Yeah.
then
I
say
also-
goodbye.
Also, we all make this kind of assumption that if people aren't having sex for 4 years and Kyle's the one saying my needs aren't being met, that it's only Amanda who's not having sex.
Yeah.
And we don't know that. Like, we
Right.
don't know that Kyle is like trying and getting turned
Yeah.
down. Like,
And like
when are you propositioning her for sex when you're out till
Yeah.
8 in the morning?
Like, and we do know, at least from this season, that when she's high, he's not trying to have sex.
Right.
Because
He
he's
for
like,
some
well,
reason
she's,
thinks you can't do
Yeah.
that.
she's under the influence.
Oh, I can't take advantage. Which
Yeah.
good. Okay. Good
Yeah.
for you, Kyle.
Good job, Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, while I understand that like we all have hindsight now, it's possible that Amanda was also cheating on him and like all of the things. There's just never going to be a part of me that is like thinks it's acceptable
Yeah.
to speak about like your wife not fucking you as this like moral failing and thus makes it acceptable for you to cheat on her in any
Yeah.
way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I also am like of the belief that like if you're okay being married and not having sex, that's cool.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're not. So
Right.
then you should not be together.
Yeah.
So, and like to your point, even if they weren't fucking, but they were at least fucking hanging out, that'd be great. but
Right.
they literally do nothing together.
They hate
Ever.
each other.
Like, literally hate each other.
Like, it baffles me hearing about like Bailey being like, no, they were making out at brunch. I'm like, that's crazy. That's absurd.
Yeah. But it's also like, it's exactly the Tom Sandoval line of stuff. And it's Kyle is saying the exact same things. Kyle all season and for the last however many seasons has been like, I just don't think Amanda likes me. Tom Sandoval, when all this happened, was like, Ariana doesn't like me. If your partner, if you for years have thought that your partner does not like you, why are you with them?
Yeah. And
Tom Sandoval would say it's because Ariana was going to kill herself.
Right.
I guess Kyle could say the same thing because he always talks about Amanda's mental health, but it's like, that's gross.
Yeah. I think also that, sorry, hold on. Something that like makes it ring different, I guess, is like Ariana was like very open about the reason she didn't want to sleep with Tom, and like Amanda's never said anything along those lines. And then like the quickness with which this got serious with West, and they started sleeping together, like it truly, like, we've been watching for years as she's had one foot in, one foot out, and is like not like, I would argue that the level of like verbal abuse is not like necessarily equal, but I feel like it comes from both sides. Like, she's not nice to him. Like, she talks down to him. She makes him feel like shit. Not excusing that he does that, but like, to me, it feels a lot more equal in like the things that were driving them apart.
Except,
right,
we do not have any proof that she cheated on him.
Right. I also saw someone say that like, she keeps talking about this video. Why have we not seen it? With how often I've seen Austin Kroll in his boxer saying, Madison, Madison, Madison. Why have we not seen this video of Kyle making out? But like, I think that it just like hits differently in that aspect. And like, again, like, not saying it's okay. I stand by the fact that like, you're an adult man. If you feel like you're not in a real true partnership, get a divorce.
Yeah, I don't know. I found it like very icky. Doesn't I think that it gives us a lot of insight into like the fact that Kyle's feelings about her not liking him and their marriage falling apart were true.
Yeah.
However, and like her always saying like, oh, it's just a hard time, we'll be fine. Like, it feels like, girl, like, you knew y'all were gonna not be together.
Yeah.
But
also though,
it's just kind of like, I'm never ever gonna be on board with like, if you're not giving it to him, he'll get it elsewhere, and that's just like acceptable. That's not acceptable.
No, I agree. I also though, I think it's interesting that like, she's the one who said, since we got married, and but then she's like, I want to keep these conversations between West and I private. Some things should be kept private, but my husband hasn't fucked me in 4 years. And like that's, I think, the icky thing is like, I don't feel like we should be talking about this at all. Like,
you could have said it's been a while.
Yeah, but like, for Amanda specifically, you're willing to talk about this, but not about what made you decide that it wasn't that bad to fuck West.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not a Kyle apologist, by the way.
No.
I just have a lot of mixed feelings about.
Yeah, I do too. I try to keep it very black and white about what I think is acceptable for women.
Yeah.
But then I also don't want to sound like an Amanda apologist. Like,
right.
I'm not.
Because we're like, oh, Kyle's been verbally abusing Amanda for years. She should cheat on him. We're like, hell yeah, women's rights and wrongs. And so, but then I'm like watching this episode where she's got like her hands around his neck, and I'm like, she's also not very nice.
Yeah, and it's like, you think Amanda never says fuck you to Kyle? No. I don't. You can, I guess. Not me. Okay, that may be the craziest moment for Mary. The craziest moment for me was when we started discussing Kyle and Amanda announcing their split. Kyle says that she moved out on In the City, and it was supposed to be temporary. They never really discussed it any further, but I'm guessing she just ends up continuing her lease. Although now we know that's not true because we were watching In the City where she got a year-long lease.
Right.
So anyway, she ends up staying moved out until eventually on January 19th, they just start discussing how to write the statement that will announce their split. They don't discuss the split and that it's going to be permanent. They just start discussing what to say in this. And Kyle says that is when he found out basically that she was done. This sounds very confusing to me. Imagine your spouse being like, hey, what should we say to tell the world we're officially broken up? Oh, did I forget to mention we were officially broken up?
Yeah.
My bad, cart before the horse.
Wait a minute.
Amanda doesn't dispute the quickness of this. Instead, she kind of doubles down and says that she had decided on New Year's Day that she wanted to be done because Kyle was out all night. His location was at a hotel in Hoboken, which confirmed for her that they were going to head into 2026 with him doing the exact same shit. Honestly, super fair.
Yeah.
But instead of telling him that she is officially done, she says, I immediately reached out to Bravo PR to figure out how to get a statement out before season 10 of Summer House started airing because she did not want people watching to think, oh, he treats her so bad. Why is she still with him?
No, she just wanted people to not think, did she cheat on him with Wes this whole time?
Sure, but she says, I didn't want them to watch how he treated me thinking that I was still with him, even though we've watched that for years. This is obviously giving premeditated. Sounds like she was very concerned about the edit and was hoping that with us watching, knowing they were broken up, that we would watch and feel bad for her and think, oh my God, thank God she's not with him anymore. And it worked until it didn't. But like we had this conversation at the beginning of the season where I said, oh, I'm so sick of watching it back, knowing people are broken up. And you said, no, I love it. And we spent the whole time being like, oh, wait, this is so fun. Because every time Kyle does something stupid, we're like, yeah, fuck you, Kyle. Amanda's not even with your ass anymore. And seriously, she was on track for that. But then she had no choice but to be with West, ruin her own premeditated scheming. She got in her own way.
It's crazy how much these like admitted clout chasers, because like she said that, and then like when Dara was saying that West only cares about himself, he was like nodding along like true. Like these admitted clout chasers are willing to like ruin their glory season by fucking each other.
Yeah, I also like simply cannot fathom thinking that the response that's gonna make me sound good is I knew 19 days before I told you that I was done being married to you. I called Bravo PR to tell them that. See? All is well. You don't think that looks shitty? Like, what are you talking about? Okay. Next up, I have the FaceTime. So, probably a good time for you to give any other thoughts you had other than about the FaceTime. But I also want to ask you, do you believe that they did not fuck until the statement came out? Or, like, what do you think? I saw what to make of
say,
this.
Like, what if they meant her statement with Kyle?
Okay, I thought that too. She said the day after the statement, and I was like, why is no one... And maybe that's one of those...
2 days before the statement.
Yeah, what if it's one of those, like, Tom Sandoval, like, lies that's like, say it, because it's the truth, and it'll come across as the truth, but, like, whatever. Yeah, I thought that too when she said it.
And also,
but that's
like...
true. If Sierra was suspicious 2 days before, and y'all were probably already kissing, and you apparently knew you were done with Kyle 19 days ago.
Right.
So she could have started liking West, making out with West, and then on January 20th, fucked him.
And also, like, when Andy asked about like if they were hooking up, and Wes said
He
100%,
was
100%,
yeah.
and she was like, no. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, y'all have not discussed this?
Well,
That's
it was
crazy.
interesting because Andy said it as like a statement. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
y'all were hooking up by this time," and Wes is like 100%. Like, I don't think he recognized that he had the ability to rebuttal, and then
Yeah.
Amanda's like, "No," and I'm like, "How did y'all not talk about
Yeah.
this? Y'all have so many conversations in private, and you didn't have this
That's
one."
why she doesn't want to share them, is because they're about getting their story straight.
Well, they weren't
Um,
good.
Yeah.
They didn't do it well.
Because they're coked out all the time. They don't remember. No. In short, no. I don't believe them.
Yeah,
about
I
that.
actually think that that's my theory, is that she means after the Kyle statement.
Yeah.
Especially knowing now that she was done nearly 3 weeks before the statement went out.
Yeah.
And chose not to clue Kyle into that, but clue NPR. It
Yeah.
feels like she,
Yeah. I also like
I was single. It's probably
I'm
why they're so
still-
stuck on the I was single, is because they waited until the announcement went out to fuck. They felt like they were waiting so long. They waited till the statement went out till she was single. They were like, "We did the right thing."
It's like a uber Christian high school couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I still think that there's something happening over the summer.
Yeah.
Maybe not like sleeping together, but like
Sure.
something inappropriate.
Yeah. I also think my biggest thing is like she says like we weren't fucking, but then it's like, why would you go through all this for someone you're not even fucking, someone you've just kissed? And she's like, well, because it had become so big. And then we had seen in a preview that she was like, we made the statement because this video was going to get out of us in a vulnerable position.
Right.
What vulnerable position were you in if you hadn't fucked?
I've heard people say that it's like a video of her in his apartment in her underwear.
Okay.
And like it's not a video of them necessarily
doing
anything, but that like it's like a video that she wouldn't want posted because she's in her underwear. To which I say,
close the window.
Also, I've never been in my underwear in front of my husband's friend. And I know they're not together when that happened, but like, you expect us to believe you're just hanging out in his apartment in your underwear? And
well, no, I mean, well, yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, I guess she would argue though that like they've probably made out by this point and have like admitted they're attracted to each other, maybe even slept in a bed together, so like she's fine with him seeing her in her underwear, but they haven't fucked. But it's like, is that like better? You're you're naked sleep. Okay, let's rephrase. You're naked sleeping with your friend's ex. Like, still bad.
I think they kissed over the summer.
Yeah, probably. Okay. For our glimpse into part 3, we cut to Sierra on FaceTime with Mija, where Mija's talking about how serious her and West have been since February of 2025. She stayed at his apartment every weekend while he was in the Hamptons. She was building his furniture. She even says that the night he went on Watch What Happens Live wearing her horsehair necktie, they were in love. That's also the same night that he said, if that's not clear, Amanda is a very important person to me. Which is also what she just said on In the City.
Mm-hmm.
West is a very important person to me. Sounds like Sierra and Kyle are going to attempt to get Mija on the stage via FaceTime. They're like, are we allowed to do this? I'd be shocked if Andy tells you no.
Right.
You say, I'm going to call this girl. Andy's going to be like, yes, please.
Did y'all not watch their Potomac reunion last year?
Yeah, come on now. On In the City, we get some incredible editing of Amanda in confessional after the scene of her and Sierra and West getting lunch. Where production asked if she had a crush at that time. She reiterates that at that time, these were just her good friends, very important people to her, but it was very good TV. I
yeah.
loved them just like turning the green screen back into a green screen. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, thank you.
I also like somebody was like, why the fuck is he just like so confidently grabbing off of her plate?
I know. Oh no, they share. They were ordering to share.
Oh.
They ordered like stuff for all of them.
Yeah.
I was like telling Billy like I love when people order like that.
It like when she was like, Sierra's been my best friend for years, and now like her and West are best friends too, and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Besties, this is my trio. Okay, anything else before I get into current news of Summer House things?
Loved Carl calling Bailey hot.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, hard disagree with the internet. I thought Bailey ate Ben up for real. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, yes,
Oh,
queen. People are
That's
like,
what I've seen on the internet is that people thought she did good.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
Everyone's like, we hate Bailey.
All I've seen is like Bailey taking over for like letting Sierra chill for a minute so she could eat Ben
Yeah.
up.
I think she got him.
Yeah.
I was like, beat her ass, Maddie.
Yeah. I just am like, obviously Sabrina has like posted and was like, no, he doesn't treat me bad. But, all right. Current news. West and Amanda are in Italy together. They went to a family wedding. This has caused a lot of speculation because that wedding required RSVPs in February, and Amanda...
Also, she was disinvited.
Huh?
She was disinvited.
But she was there.
Yeah.
Oh, but on the RSVP, she was specifically listed by name.
Yeah.
So she was included, allegedly had to RSVP by February. That's not to
February
say
1st.
Not to say the couple didn't make an exception, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
My headline news is that a recent Dumois post has gone pretty viral of Amanda and West at a public outdoor eating establishment in Italy where she chose to spit in his mouth.
They are 2 peas in a fucking pod.
Yeah. That was crazy. Also, her friend Katie that people keep talking about, like, posted a picture of her that said like the bun.
It was like stripes and a half bun. How original.
Yes, and everyone was like, so Amanda told her to post this.
Yeah.
And then while we were recording our true crime episode, I took a quick glance at my phone, and it seems that Kyle Cook might be dating somebody, and it's Sally.
Shut the fuck up.
It says they seem to be getting serious. He did just post photos with Craig and Austin in Charleston.
I feel like
and Sally posted a picture of Kyle DJing. Yeah, I find it icky that he's posting with Craig and Austin. He said, "Fuck you, Paige and Sierra. Rude. That's your girls."
Rodrigo commented on it and said, "Sally, why didn't you tell me?"
Wait, commented on what? Oh, just
the Dumois.
post. Okay.
So Dumois posted, Kyle Cook and Sally Carson's relationship appears to be heating up. And then Rodrigo said, "Sally, why didn't you tell me?"
Oh, so maybe it feels like he's saying that it's not
right,
true.
because they are besties.
Yeah, but anyway, could be interesting. Because that came up in the reunion too, that Kyle and Sally made out.
Yeah.
But he was single.
I liked Mia from Southern Hospitality posting, and she said, "Well, I didn't know he was gonna turn evil."
Yeah.
About sleeping with Wes. I didn't know he was gonna turn evil. It's so funny.
Well, that's all I have, folks.
Okay,
good stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm a ghost throughout this. An unfocused ghost.
I guess it's better than not being there at all.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.